Hello everybody, this is Yoko's TV Show Reactions, and actually, I just realized I don't even need to do this little introduction on the actual reactions because 99% of the time they aren't going up on YouTube, so... Anyway, this is going to be my review for Gravity Falls Season 1, Episode 1. Now, I think what I'm going to do from now on is... There's a hair right there. Right on my freaking face. What I'm going to do from now on is when it comes to my anime channel, whenever I get a day to where I can record, even if I have to work that day, I'm going to just work on one show each day. That way I can hopefully get closer to finishing some shows. And if I get really close to finishing one, like let's say I have less than 10 episodes left after binging on it, then I'll work on the same show the next day. That way I can finish it. Or at least get the first season done, or whatever the heck I'm planning on doing. Anyway, so yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I think that applies as well to this channel too. Though, when it comes to Game of Thrones, I am not exactly sure how often I will record for that show. Because, as I've seen, each episode is almost an hour long, if not an hour long. So, that's going to be a little more recorded less frequently than the other shows. Maybe if I can complete some shows, or, get done with season 1 of some shows, I might do more Game of Thrones as I guess you could say, dang it, as I get less to do, essentially. And same goes for the anime shows, except for, the ones that are coming up, I only have one episode to record, essentially, for that, so that would be fine. Like Attack on Titan, Arifureta, all the other shows that are getting new seasons this year. And yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I've said that probably a couple times at least in the past, and I haven't gotten to doing it. Here's hoping I can. Weather permitting, and all that. Anyway, yes, I have seen some of Gravity Falls. I wasn't expecting it to be only a 40-minute or 40-episode show. I thought it had more than 40 episodes, to be completely honest with you guys. I thought it was like one of those shows like Adventure Time where there's a ton of episodes for it. But no, apparently not. It's shorter than I thought it was. Huh. Anyway, pilot episode for Gravity Falls. Mabel and Dipper arrive in Gravity Falls, Oregon, where they're staying with their great Uncle Stan, or Grunkle Stan as they like to call him. He runs the Mystery Shack, which essentially is trying to scam people out of their hard-earned money, and it's not very hard to do because apparently everybody in town is very gullible. Or they're more aware of the supernatural and all that stuff going on than they are letting on, and thus him having this stuff is much more interesting than if they didn't believe in that stuff. So they have to have some kind of belief, I guess, in it, or they're just gullible. Either way, he's getting their money. And we get introduced to Wendy, the one who's working at the register, who doesn't seem to give a flying freak about anything, because she doesn't really care about, doing her job, because we usually see her reading or out doing other stuff. And Seuss, well, he's an interesting character, that's for sure. Anyway, Mabel is boy crazy, and I'm assuming she's at least 12. They're at least 12, essentially, because there's an episode later involving teenagers, and we find out that Dipper's not a teenager, so 12 is essentially the youngest I think he could be, or the oldest he could be, I think. And yeah, Mabel is boy crazy, wanting a boyfriend, and she's flirting with apparently every guy she sees. Mabel, that's desperate. That's not a good thing, because some guy would take advantage of that. Though I don't think in this town she would have to worry about that, because none of the guys seem to be interested in her. And while Dipper is out hanging signs for the Mystery Shack, he comes across a book, a journal, with the number 3 on it, and this spells the start of the doom that will be coming to this town. And yeah, he obviously is interested in this sort of thing because it's definitely something different, and it explains that this town is not normal, essentially. While he comes back, Mabel apparently has a date. And the guy is, not normal. Mabel doesn't really care because, it's a guy with a pulse. And I'm not even joking. She was hitting on any guy. Any of them. Except, obviously, Great Uncle Stan, but that's family still. Anyway, yeah, Dipper is convinced that this guy is not what he claims to be, which is human. He thinks that the guy is a zombie, essentially, or undead, but then again, Mabel hopes that he's a vampire, which technically are undead. So she would kind of still be in the realm of his line of thinking. Let me know if I'm wrong. Obviously, there's a difference between a zombie and a vampire, but they are both still undead as far as I know. And he actually gets some evidence that something shifty is going on because when he sees them, with his arm around her, his hand falls off. And he just quickly picks it up, puts it back on. And normally, you wouldn't think of immediately prosthetic hand because, as far as we know, he automatically jumps to, oh, he is undead, and he goes to run after her and save her from her date with this guy. And turns out that he is not human. But he's not undead like they thought. And this was kind of hinted at earlier when Dipper was pulling out the book to show her what he thinks that Norman is. And instead of it being on the page of the undead, it was on the page of gnomes. Which actually is what he is. They are. A bunch of gnomes standing on top of each other in a hoodie and pants. And apparently they want Mabel to be their queen to 1,000 of them? Ugh. I feel bad for Mabel if that was actually to happen. Obviously she's not wanting this, but they don't take no for an answer. Dipper shows up, saves her pretty easily, considering they're gnomes. Kind of think that they're pretty wimpy. Except when they run off, the gnomes all join together to form a giant gnome monster that chases after them. Manages to corner them at the Mystery Shack, and Mabel tells Dipper, trust me, and she gets this guy, the head gnome, I guess you could say, the only one that I've seen that was young looking, because all the other gnomes looked like they were old. Their beards were all white. His was brown. She tricks him with the leaf blower, pulls it into reverse, sucks him in, and then fires him at the rest of the gnomes, sending him flying back into the forest, and all the other gnomes running for cover because they don't have anybody to give them orders. So I'm guessing he was the Gnome King? Anyway, so that is the first episode, and that is only the tip of the iceberg on crazy things that are going to happen to poor Mabel and Dipper in this show. Not to mention all the other people in town. Because this is not just going to involve those two, this is going to involve everybody at some point. Anyway, yeah, I haven't seen all the episodes, obviously. I've only seen maybe a handful of them. Maybe, 5 out of them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see everybody next time.